Who wins the cat fight between the Bearcats and the Cougars? I'll tell you in just a minute. I sure hope they're a lot meaner than this one. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos, and welcome to another edition of Coos' Corner, your go-to channel for college sports with a heavy dose of West Virginia Mountaineers. Before I break down the upcoming American Conference Championship game between Cincinnati and Houston, I ask that if you don't mind, and if you like college sports videos almost every single day, this is a channel for you. Please hit that subscribe button. Also, please give me the thumbs up if you like the video, share it with your college sports loving friends, and last but not least, there's a link in the description box to the Fanatics website. If you have your favorite sports team apparel you want to go purchase, use that link. I'll make a small commission off of the sale. It'll really help me out. Now let's get on with the video. The odds for this game, Cincinnati is a heavy favorite. 82.6% chance to win according to ESPN, whereas Houston is a 17.4% chance to win. According to Vegas, Cincinnati is minus 10.5. The over-under on the game is 53. Now let's look at some team stats. I'll throw them up on the screen for you as I read them. Points per game, Houston 38.8. Cincinnati 39.6. Points allowed per game, Houston 19.8, Cincinnati 15.8. Total yards, Houston 423, Cincinnati 430. Yards passing, 272 for Houston, 254 for Cincinnati. Yards rushing, 150 for Houston, 177 for Cincinnati. Yards allowed, 290 for Houston, 303 for Cincinnati. Passing yards allowed, 192 for Houston, 162 for Cincinnati. And rushing yards allowed, 98 for Houston, and 142 for Cincinnati. As you can see, these two teams are pretty close statistically. Houston, better run defense. Cincinnati, better pass defense. Houston, better passing offense. Cincinnati, better rushing offense. So, I mean, they balance out. So why is Cincinnati such a huge favorite? A couple reasons. Number one, it's at Cincinnati in Nippert Stadium. Most conference championship games are played on a neutral site. This conference does not do that. The American plays it at the home stadium of the top-ranked team, which in this case is the undefeated Cincinnati Bearcats. Another reason, I think, Cincinnati just has more talent across the board. I think ESPN and Vegas both see that, and also Cincinnati's played a little bit tougher schedule than Houston. Houston has played most of the weaker teams this year in the AAC, whereas Cincinnati has played a couple Power 5 teams, including a win over number 6 Notre Dame at home, or on the road rather, and then a win at Indiana. Whereas Houston's only team against the Power 5 was to start the year against Texas Tech, and they actually lost that game. So now they both played SMU. Cincinnati blew SMU out. Houston won the game, but it was tight. So I think if you look at the body of work between the two teams up to this point, and the talent level of across the board at all the positions, Cincinnati's just a better football team on paper. But who actually wins the game? Stick around. I'll give you my prediction at the end. And in the meantime, go ahead and go into the comment box. Let me know your score prediction for this game as well. I'd like to see that. Now let's look at some team stats that weren't on that list that might make a difference. You look at sacks. Houston has 41 sacks on the season. And they've done most of that without blitzing. They rush 4 most of the time. They have a really good defensive line. They cause a lot of chaos for the opposing quarterbacks. But conversely, Cincinnati has only given up 18 sacks on the season. Their offensive line's done a really good job of keeping Desmond Ridder upright, and he's done a good job of getting rid of the football when rushed. So who's going to win that battle? And then you look at field goals. Cincinnati is only 7 out of 16 on field goal attempts this year. They're less than 50%. They've struggled kicking the football. So if this game comes down to a game-winning field goal, Cincinnati could miss it. Very good chance. Houston 62% on the year, 13 out of 21. Houston has the 4th best third down defense in the nation right now. Their opponents are only picking up first downs on 27% of third down conversion attempts. Cincinnati's not doing terrible in that category. They're at 34%. But Houston is above and beyond most in the country in that category. And then you look at turnover margin. Cincinnati's sitting at plus 13, Houston at plus 11. Cincinnati has intercepted 17 balls on the year. 17. But conversely, Houston's intercepted 14. So they're doing real good in that category too. Both of these teams are ball hawks and will take advantage of quarterback mistakes. Now let's look at some player stats. Look at the quarterbacks. Houston's Clayton Tune, 244 out of 355, 3,013 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks. Desmond Ridder, 223 for 338 passing, 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 picks. Really close. But Ridder has just, I think Ridder has a greater body of work. He just looks more impressive out there and likes to spread the ball around to multiple receivers. And just he's an NFL caliber quarterback. Then you look rushing yards. Alton McCaskill for Houston, the star freshman, 162 carries, 844 yards, 16 touchdowns. Then you look at Jerome Ford for Cincinnati, 182 carries, 1,055 yards, 17 touchdowns. Receiving, you get Nathaniel Dell for Houston, arguably the best receiver in this game. He's a first-team all-conference performer. 71 receptions, 1,027 yards, 11 touchdowns. And then Alec Pierce for Cincinnati, 48 receptions, 802 yards, 7 touchdowns. But like I said earlier, Desmond Ridder likes to spread the ball around to multiple receivers. So his receivers won't have as good individual statistics. And I talked about Nathaniel Dell being first-team All-American Conference. So was Desmond Ridder. He was actually Offensive Player of the Year for the conference. Now some individual stats that will also matter in this game, I think, that aren't on this list here that I just read you. Marcus Jones, return man for Houston, arguably the best in the country. He has 4 return touchdowns, 2 punt, 2 kick, averaging 38 yards per kick return and 14.4 yards per punt return on the year. Then you've got the defensive backfield for Cincinnati. 2 really good defensive backs. Ahmad Gardner, arguably one of the best, if not the best corner in the nation. His statistics aren't real gaudy, but the reason for that is people don't throw the ball his way much because he locks people down. Check this stat out. 2 of them actually. He's never allowed a touchdown. He's never allowed a touchdown reception in his career. And then this season, out of 32 pass attempts going his way, he's only allowed 14 catches. 14 catches on the entire year, 0 touchdowns. That's amazing. The guy's a lockdown corner. But then on the other side, if they move away from him, try to throw on the other side, you got Kobe Bryant over there. That kid's got 3 picks of his own to go along with Ahmad Gardner's 3 picks. But he also has 11 pass breakups. There again, just another really good corner. I think that makes a huge difference in this game because you're, and I'll get to that in a minute. Now you look at keys to victory for the game. For Houston offensively, they need to establish the run. As you saw in the stats, Cincinnati's weak point on defense is stopping the run. So if Houston can do that, especially up the middle, they can burn clock, control time of possession, keep the ball out of Cincinnati's hands as much as possible. Don't let Desmond Ridder beat you. Defensively for Houston, do what they've been doing all year and get to the quarterback. Can that defensive line get to Desmond Ridder and cause him to make some mistakes? That's going to, that's yet to be seen, obviously, but that will be a huge key in this game. Now for Cincinnati offensively, I think for them, Desmond Ridder needs to be protected. He needs time to throw the football. If he has 3 to 4 seconds to throw the football for most of this game, he's probably going to pick Houston apart, and I think Cincinnati wins the game. And it will also help him open up the run game as well for Jerome Ford. Now defensively for Cincinnati, they need to stop Houston's running attack. If they can stop Houston's running attack, I think they win. Now here's the key to that and why I think they can. You've got these 2 great corners on the edges in Gardner and in Bryant. If they put them in man-to-man situations, which I think they can and probably will, they'll be able to put an extra safety in the box to stop the run game and help stop McCaskill. And I think that's what Cincinnati will likely do. And I think it will, like I said, help them with the run game and help make Houston hopefully one-dimensional. And then they can pick maybe force some turnovers as well. My score prediction. Because of Cincinnati's talent in the defensive backfield, because I think they can play man-to-man on the edges, and because I think they can stop the run with an extra safety in the box, I think they win the game, but I don't think they cover. I think they win the game 34-28, 6-point victory, because I think it's going to be a close game. I think Houston is a good team. They've got some good players. They're going to come hungry, but the game's at Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's just an all-around better team, so I think they pull it out in the end. 34-28. Let me know again in the comments what you think. What's your score prediction for the game? I want to hear it. I'm excited about this game. These are two future members of the Big 12. One of these days, this could be the Big 12 championship game. All right, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me the thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget the Fanatics link in the description box to make your Fanatics purchases. Check this video out right here, which is my breakdown of the Oklahoma State Baylor Big 12 title game. And I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time.